Greetings, guys. John here for the newest installment of my video blog, and I want to talk a little bit about this whole concept of this new movie coming out on Christmas Day called The Darkest Hour, and press screenings and press junkets, and when studios don't have press screenings or press junkets for those films. Let's start with this. When a film is coming out, people like myself who watch and talk about films for a living, we get invited to advanced press screenings and then to press junkets to talk to the filmmakers and the stars of the film. The studios do this not because they owe film critics or people who write about movies for a living anything. They don't owe people like me anything at all. Not a thing. The reason studios do this is because they know they need as much attention for these films as possible. They want to get the word out. They want as many people talking about them as possible. If it's a $1 million film, they want to make $2 million. If it's a $200 million film, they want to make $220 million. That's why the studios let critics see films in advance. It's why they have press junkets, to get the word out and to get buzz generating. And so every once in a while, you'll get a movie. It doesn't happen often. It happens rarely. But you'll get a big wide release film that very curiously will not have screenings for critics to see in advance and not have press junkets for, interviews for their cast and filmmakers to get out there for people to see and read. Why would studios do this? Well, one completely moronic explanation that makes no sense and has no validity whatsoever is the concept that critics, this movie in particular, whatever movie you're talking about, isn't one that critics will like. Or this one isn't a critic movie, so there's no need for us to have an advanced screening for it or to have a junket for it, because this is not one the critics will like, or some stupid moronic variation of that particular lame excuse. The reason that explanation has absolutely no validity whatsoever is because it has an incredibly flawed underlying presupposition that the critics are all the same. That critics are one collective Borg mind hive that all have the same opinions and the same backgrounds and talk the same way and think the same way and have the same opinions. They're all just one big collective mind, which is one of the most moronic things you can possibly say. Look, let's just look at a couple of film critics that I can think of off the top of my head. Look at James Rocky, a great film writer. He writes a little bit for Total Film Magazine, I think, and MSN Movies. He's a great film critic. Look at a guy like Steve Weintraub or Frosty from Collider.com, Peter Serretta from Slash Film, A.O. Scott from the New York Times, one of the most famous film critics in the world, Roger Ebert, or even somebody like myself. Look at these guys. Do you think any of us have the same background? Do you think any of the people that I just listed have the exact same opinion of movies? Just look at them. I mean, I know these guys and I know they're completely different people, but you can just look at pictures of these guys and you can know that these are all completely different people. Much like any movie theater you walk into, all the people in that movie theater, they all come from different backgrounds, they all have different opinions, they all have different tastes. If you walk into a room full of film critics, they all have different backgrounds, they all have different opinions, and they all have different tastes. So that excuse does not hold water for me. There is only one reason why a studio, in this case like Summit, who is a studio that I really like. I think Summit is a terrific film studio. I'm not saying I love all the movies they put out, but I love the way they do business. I love the passion they have for movies, and I love that they take risks. I really like Summit. Just let me put that on the table. But Summit's putting out a film like The Darkest Hour. There's only one reason why you don't have screenings for critics or film junkets for a film like a wide release film like The Darkest Hour. They don't believe in the movie whatsoever. They don't believe that any good whatsoever can come out of letting these people see this movie and talk about it before it comes out. When a studio does not let critics see a film in advance and don't have press junkets and allow none of that traditional kind of publicity to happen, what it is absolutely, it is an admission by the studio that this movie is terrible. It's them coming out and saying, this movie is awful. We know that nobody will like this film, and we need to hide it. We need to hide this movie as long as we possibly can until we can put it out opening weekend and sell as many tickets opening weekend as we can, because word of mouth is going to be terrible. Everybody's going to hate this film. We have no faith in this movie. We don't want to let anybody see it. We need to hide this movie. Think of it this way. Think of a guy trying to sell a car. They put out a car and it looks great. I actually think the trailer for The Darkest Hour looks kind of interesting. I've been looking forward to it until I found out they were trying to hide the movie. But it's like a guy trying to sell a car. And he says, hey, look at this great car, but you can't touch it. We're not going to let you get in and sit in it, and we're certainly not going to let you take it for a test drive. But buy the car anyway. Will that be cash or credit? When the studios don't let a film get screened or junketed, it is them saying we have no faith in this movie. It's them saying to the public, hey, come buy tickets to our movies. Don't read about it. Don't see any interviews on it. Don't read any reviews on it. Just take our word for it. It's worth the money. Is that going to be cash or credit? Once again, let me reemphasize this point. The studios don't owe film critics anything. They don't owe screenings to film critics. But what they do owe is a potential audience that they're trying to get to buy tickets to some advance information about how are people going to react to this film. I think they owe that to the movie-going public. That is just my opinion. But what isn't just opinion is that when a film hides a film, or when a studio hides a movie from the public, they hide it from critics, they hide it from everything, and just want to get you to buy tickets based on their trailer. That it is an admission by the studios that the film is awful, it's terrible, and they have absolutely no faith in it. I haven't seen The Darkest Hour, but I can tell you right now, I know, because the studio's trying to hide it, that they have no faith in it, and it's probably a complete train wreck. And so if any of my friends ask me, should I buy a ticket to go see The Darkest Hour? I'm going to say, no, man, the red flags are up. That is a terrible movie because the studios have no faith in it. It's got to be bad. Stay away from it. Anyway, that's just my opinion on it. I'm sure there's lots of different opinions out there on it. Feel free to leave me your comments. Anyway, I'm John Campea, and until next time, bye-bye.